10 years ago, Pat and I were here talking about the 20th anniversary. Well, now it's the 30th anniversary, and last night there was a really special award given to Pat. My gosh, you are never going to get out of ACA Connects, are you? Why don't you tell us about this honor you received last night, and we'll have a conversation about your amazing career.
The award last night was so exciting, and I am finding out that they're not going to let me quit the board like I had decided to do, and because I've been on there for 27 years. But now they've made me a board member in perpetuity, so I guess I'm always going to be on the board. Wonderful.
Well, and it's amazing because, I don't know, is it 6 decades or something of service to the industry? You started in 1978 when the industry was still new, and there certainly weren't a lot of women. Why don't you kind of take us through your career path, because it's an amazing journey.
I started with Jones Intercable in 1978 as a systems analyst, and after I was there for a couple of years, I asked if I could be a broker because they had partnerships and they were going out and buying small cable systems. And I was told that women don't do that. So I went back to pushing the pencil. And then a couple of years later, I thought, I'm going to do it. And of course, I started my business, I think it was in 1981 or 82 that I started Pat Thompson Company. And interest rates were up to 22%. And there was nothing selling because nobody was going to pay that kind of interest. So it was... I think it was a year after I started my business. I had borrowed money, and I closed my first deal so I could pay back my investors.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes. I always live on the edge.
But you continued, though, in the industry. And why don't you tell us a little bit about the journey? Because you had some amazing connections throughout with cable luminaries.
I was so fortunate. Once I started my own company, I was afraid that maybe I wouldn't be taken seriously. But I found out that all the big shots that had started the cable industry were kind of impressed that I had done it. And I was able to meet with them, John Malone, Bob Magnus, Bill Bresnan, Glenn Jones, of course, Bill Daniels. It was wonderful. It really was. I was blessed. I was really blessed to know these people.
And you are kind of this bridge between the founders and today's generation. And part of that bridge has been your efforts with ACA Connects. You've been there virtually from the beginning, right?
Absolutely. Since it was a small cable business association when they were meeting in Kansas City. And I was asked to join the board. I think it was Dave Kinley that asked me, but it was right before Ben Hooks took over. So I've been through 9 chairmen of the ACA. I've been through countless board members since they change about every 2 or 3 years. But I've learned so much about their unique perspectives on this business. And when you listen to the issues and the problems that the smaller operators have always had, it just helps me in my business too in dealing with people and helping them.
Going forward, have you ever seen anything quite like this with all the money flowing in?
No. And it's changing things dramatically. And a lot of the smaller operators are getting money themselves, whether it's from the state or federal or whatever. The big money hasn't come out yet. But they are foregoing video, and it's strictly broadband now. But the problem is a lot of them are getting overbuilt by the fiber companies and even by the bigger cable companies. And once that starts happening, who knows? But it's really kind of sad. I mean, I've dealt with a couple of people now who are getting overbuilt by bigger companies.
That's got to be challenging if you're a smaller company. Are there opportunities for them to either sell or maybe bring in capital?
Gets very difficult to sell once you're overbuilt. Yeah. And if you could sell to the overbuilder, but then what's the price that you're going to get?
Right.
So it's a whole different ballgame. I'm almost glad I'm old.
Well, that's the amazing thing, because I was doing the math, and I think you are much younger than you said you were last night. I just don't believe the number.
I'm really 20.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, Pat, it's which is interesting because 26 years on the board of ACA, and you're 20. I don't know if the numbers add up, but I think you know numbers from your brokerage business. So Pat, I appreciate your
Thank you so
time.
much. I
Thanks.
appreciate it.